Before you get into this revelation, know this: the fact that you're here now is a sign from heaven. God is coming to meet you with justice. If you have felt that you have been unjustly attacked, if your soul has cried in silence while it seemed that no one was watching, know this: all of heaven has seen it and is now moving because of you. Subscribe now to the Chosen Signal channel. Turn on all notifications and share this message with everyone who needs to hear that the time for divine justice has come. The attack you suffered was no accident. It was a spiritual violation of sacred ground. You are not just anyone. You are a chosen one. And the enemy, by touching you, has crossed invisible boundaries that heaven itself has established. Every word hurled at you, every betrayal, every wound has been recorded not as mere suffering, but as evidence against those who stood up. God has brought your case to the heavenly court. The enemy has not only provoked you, he has provoked God himself. And now the time for divine reaction has been activated. Prepare to see what happens when heaven decides to respond in favor of a chosen one. Heaven's justice is not slow, it is precise. Every tear that fell in silence, every pain you endured without witness, was an unseen seed. And now those seeds cry out for justice. God does not respond with pity, he responds with judgment. And that judgment is not just to restore you, it is to exalt his name through your story. God's vengeance is not destructive, it is restorative. It tears down the systems that tried to crush you. It exposes the false ones who tried to silence you. It reverses losses and establishes honor where there was shame. This is the time when the God of justice arises, not just to comfort you, but to avenge every ounce of your pain. The weight you carried was not punishment, it was evidence. Evidence that you carry something that hell feared. You were not attacked because you were weak, you were attacked because you are dangerous. Because within you is a deposit of glory, an anointing of war, a potential for transformation that threatens ancient spiritual territories. Your pain was not an accident, it was a sign. A sign that you were born to move structures, to break cycles, to free generations. And the greater the battle, the greater the manifestation. Because now, God will transform every tear into testimony, every loss into conquest, every setback into a catapult. The silence you faced was not abandonment, it was preparation. The loneliness that crushed you was a training ground for your future authority. The wilderness that felt like punishment was actually the forging of your true identity. In the wilderness, God killed your need for approval, destroyed your dependence on human validation, and honed your ability to hear his voice above all others. You were not being buried, you were being planted. And now, what was planted in tears will blossom in glory. What was cultivated in the dark will emerge. In public response, the wilderness did not kill you, it refined you, and the world will see what the wilderness built in you. You are no longer fighting to conquer something, you are fighting to manage what is already yours. Your position in the spirit has changed. Before you fought as someone trying to survive, now you fight as someone who has already won. Your every prayer, every silent cry, every decree you release will have a weight it didn't have before. Your words will carry command. Your presence will carry disruption. Your walk will be recognized in the spirit world as that of a legitimate heir who already has rights to territories, promises, and doors. You no longer fight to be accepted. You fight as someone who is already accepted, already set apart, already anointed. Your battle will no longer be defensive. It will be offensive. When you speak, the atmospheres will respond. When you move, the spiritual world will adjust. Because the authority that rests upon you now has been activated through the suffering you have endured without breaking. Each time you have stood in silence, your voice has been calibrated to rule. It is not about volume, it is about weight. Your every word will carry the signature of heaven. You will find that simple prayers will move mountains, that simple declarations will undo the plans of the enemy. Your authority has been cemented in secret, and now it will be visible. Hell will recognize your sound, heaven will support your command, and the earth will be transformed by your obedience. The greatest mistake the enemy ever made was attacking you. He thought his blow would destroy you, but he only succeeded in activating your true identity. Every plan that was hatched against you now turns against the schemer himself, because the God you serve specializes in using the enemy's attack as fuel for his ascension. The same hands that tried to tear you down will now see you raised before them. The same tongues that cursed you will now have to witness your promotion. You will not only be restored, you will be exalted, and everyone will know that it was God and God alone who signed your glorious new beginning. There are blessings that have been held back during the time of preparation. There is favor that has been waiting for your spiritual maturation, but now the prophetic clock has accelerated. What seemed stuck, held back, blocked, is being released in series over your life. Old doors that were closed will give way to new portals. Divine connections will be activated suddenly. What you planted in tears will be reaped in honor. You are entering a season of radical restitution, where God will return what was stolen and multiply it. Because the justice of heaven never gives back just what was lost. It gives double, triple, sevenfold to show who the God is who called you. The restitution that God is releasing into your life will not come in drops. It will come like an avalanche. You will see areas that were stagnant begin to move simultaneously. What seemed dormant will awaken. What seemed dead will be resurrected. And what seemed unattainable will become tangible reality. God is moving invisible pieces, rearranging territories, realigning ancient promises. And what begins as a small victory will quickly turn into an unstoppable sequence of breakthroughs. You will be surrounded by so many signs of favor that you will no longer be able to doubt. God's justice is personally working on your behalf, and no one can stop what he has already determined. Prepare for multiplication, not just of resources, but of vision, of influence, of impact. God is not just restoring to you what was lost. He is giving you what was promised to your ancestors, what was dreamed of by generations before you. You will be the answer to ancient cries. You will be the link that breaks hereditary curses and inaugurates lineages of blessing and purpose. Multiplication will come because you were found faithful in the few things, because you did not corrupt in the time of scarcity, because you persevered even when everything told you to give up. Now heaven releases explosive growth upon your life as a seal of eternal approval. God is not just restoring you, he is positioning you as a warrior of righteousness. You will be used to defend the vulnerable, to free the captives, to lift up the fallen. Your story will be fuel for others. Your victory will be a decree of hope for those who have lost faith. You will carry within you a rare combination of compassion and authority. Your heart will be gentle before God and relentless in the face of the injustices of the enemy. You will move as a general of the Spirit, bringing order in places of chaos, bringing light where there was only darkness. You are more than a survivor. You are a liberator in the making. Get ready. The time of silence is over. Your voice will be amplified by the Spirit. Your words will carry the anointing of deliverance. What you declare in alignment with heaven will be established. What you break in the name of God will be undone. You will become a prophetic voice in your generation, not only to inspire, but to activate dormant destinies. Where there are invisible chains, your words will be like spiritual hammers that break shackles. Where there is oppression, your presence will bring lightness. For those who were shaped in the fire of pain, now carry the glory of restoration. Your voice will not be just sound, it will be decree. And the earth will recognize the authority you carry. You will not only recover, you will be exalted. The hand that sustained you in the desert will now lift you up before many, not out of vanity, but out of purpose. God will make a point of publicly honoring those who remained faithful in secret. Those who saw your pain will also see your glory. Those who witnessed your falls will now witness your supernatural rises. Your exaltation will be a proclamation of God's power, a living testament to His keeping His promises. Your story will be a banner for the weary, a sign for those who still struggle in silence. You will be remembered as the one who did not give up, and because of that, God raised you above expectations. God is just, and part of that justice is allowing those who hurt, mocked, betrayed, and abandoned you to see your elevation, not as selfish revenge, but as a testimony of sovereign action. They will see that their words could not nullify the word that God released over you. They will realize that their attacks could not frustrate the eternal purpose that you carry. What's more, many of those who hurt you will come to seek help, guidance, and counsel. Because your elevation will be undeniable. It will be the reflection of the God who sustained you in the invisible and now exposes you to the visible as a masterpiece of His justice and grace. What God is releasing into your life will not be limited to you. Your victory will cascade down to your family, to your lineage, to generations yet to be born. Curses will be broken, cycles will be undone, spiritual territories will be recovered. Because you accepted to pay the price, you accepted to continue when everything told you to stop. Now, the blessing that will rest upon you will be like a tree, whose roots span decades and whose fruits will nourish countless lives. You will be called the restorer of generations, the rebuilder of walls, the healer of stories. Your victory will be an inheritance. Your victory will be a legacy. Your victory will be the new standard for your lineage. And at the end of it all, everyone will know it wasn't you. It wasn't your strength. It wasn't your ability. It was the arm of the Most High God that lifted you up, and you will point to Him with tears in your eyes and gratitude in your heart. You will say, if it weren't for the Lord, I wouldn't have made it this far. And that recognition will release even more favor into your life. Because the glory is His, the power is His, the victory is His, and you are just the vessel through which He chose to manifest His faithfulness. Prepare to live a story so great that it will be impossible to tell it without mentioning God's name in every chapter. There are doors that men have tried to lock against you, doors that systems have tried to block, doors that human alliances have tried to seal to prevent your progress. But today, God declares, the door that I open, no one can close. You will see accesses that seemed impossible open up before your walk of faith. Invitations that were blocked will be released. Dreams that seemed unattainable will become reality before your eyes. It will not be by human effort. It will not be by the strength of your arm. It will be the signature of the God who guards the chosen ones and promotes at the right time. And no one, absolutely no one, will be able to prevent the opening that God Himself decreed for you. Get ready. The harvest will not be small, nor will it be gradual. It will come as a series of miracles linked together. One yes will open another. One connection will unlock another. One testimony will generate another. You will enter a cycle of favor where, while you are still celebrating one victory, another is already on the way. Because God has decided to speed up the season for you. Where there was delay, there will be speed. Where there was struggle, there will be fluidity. Where there were tears, there will be dancing. You will not only reap what you sow, you will reap what was sown by the generations that came before you and cried out for someone like you to break through. The earth will respond to your faith with multiplied bounty. The transformation that God is working in you will not only be internal, it will overflow. Your simple presence will begin to change environments. The weight of the glory that rests upon your life will be felt wherever you go. You will carry healing in your words, relief in your gaze, hope in your actions. And this is not because you will seek recognition, but because those who carry the Spirit of the living God cannot go unnoticed. Even those who do not understand in the natural will feel it in the Spirit. Your life will be a beacon for lost sailors, a shelter for wounded hearts, a sign that God still raises faithful warriors in times of crisis. God's elevation over your life will bring privileges, yes, but mainly a mission. You will not be promoted to settle down, but to influence, to transform, to restore. God will position you in strategic places, not for personal comfort, but to fulfill collective purposes. Your promotion will have a spiritual weight. There will be moments of battle, there will be moments of resistance, but there will also be abundant grace, divine strategies, and angelic protection at every step. You will not rise alone, you will rise as an ambassador of heaven. Your mission will be so clear that all resistance will seem small compared to the calling that burns within you. The time when you walked around with your head down, silently bearing humiliations, is over. God is changing your station. The shame that seemed to stick to your history will be removed like an old, faded garment. Now you will be clothed with honor, visible honor, honor that crosses barriers, honor that responds to years of hidden tears. Get ready. The negative words that were thrown at you will be nullified by the decree of glory that heaven has released. Where before they mocked, now they will celebrate. Where before they doubted, now they will be inspired. Because the God who saw you in the valley now makes a point of exalting you on the mountain. To live what God has prepared, you will need to leave behind old ways of thinking. Don't carry the burden of scarcity into abundance. Don't bring a survival mentality into the time of government. God wants to give you not only new territories, but also a new mindset. The mind of Christ, the vision of one who knows that he carries eternal purpose. You will not only receive more, you will think bigger, decide better, influence wisely. The expansion that God has prepared for your life begins internally. You will see, as soon as your mindset changes, the doors will respond. The outside always bows before the transformed inside. You will be living proof that God does not forget his promises. Many looked at you and thought it was too late, that it was impossible, that it was irretrievable. But God was just maturing the promise. And now he exposes you to the world as a living memorial of his faithfulness. Your story will be told. Your name will be remembered, not for the pain you suffered, but for the glory you will carry. Every detail of your journey, the dead ends, the deserts, the valleys, everything will be used to show that when God promises, he fulfills. No matter how much time passes, no matter how much resistance arises, what is his, no one steals. Before the world sees it, heaven has already seen it. Before the crowd celebrates, the angels have already sung. You have already been recognized in the invisible. You have already been approved in the secret. Now, you will only experience the manifestation of what is already a spiritual reality. And the recognition that will come from men will not change who you are. It will only confirm what God has always known about you. Whether in small beginnings or on the grand stage, you will know, true honor comes from above. The applause of heaven has already preceded you. And that is what will sustain your walk when the platforms open and eyes turn to you. If this word has set your spirit on fire, know this: you have not been forgotten. You have been promoted in the invisible, and now you will be exposed in the visible. Subscribe now to the Chosen Signal channel, turn on all notifications, and share this message with everyone who also needs to know that God is rising up to bring justice. Leave a comment: I receive God's justice upon my life. This is your time. The enemy tried to break you, but he only succeeded in propelling you toward your eternal purpose.